What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my ranking for my top 10 favorite movies of 1994. So this is part of my top 10 Tuesdays where I do a top 10 list every week, and I'm currently going through each year since I've been born, and this week I'm going to do two lists and everything. I'm going to do 94 and 95 and everything because I didn't do 94 last week, so I thought I'd just give y'all both of them this week to make up for it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on 94's list. Coming in at number 10 is Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I absolutely love this movie. It's the movie that launched Jim Carrey into stardom and everything. 94 was a huge year for him. He had 3 movies this year and they all wound up on this list. You'll see where the other 2 wind up and everything, and I'll talk more about them when I get to them, but this one was the first of the 3 and I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. I think that it's a really funny movie and everything. The whole energy that Jim Carrey brings to this role is just a ton of fun and everything. There's so many hilarious moments and everything. There's not a lot I'm going to say about this one because I am going to review it at some point and everything, since I'm starting to review his movies, but I'll just say that I really do love this movie. And there was one thing I do have to mention about this movie that just always cracks me up. I gotta do it for y'all. Did you ask me something? With honors, I really love this movie. It is a really great drama movie about this group of college friends who take in this homeless guy that's living in the basement of their college and everything, and how it affects their lives and stuff. And it's all because Brendan Fraser's character drops his thesis in the boiler room where Joe Pesci's character finds it, and in agreement to give it back, he agrees to give 1 page back for 1 favor and everything, and they form a really good friendship, and it's just a really good heartfelt movie. It's one of those that never gets talked about. It's very underrated and everything, which I feel that on a lot of Brendan Fraser stuff. But this movie, I never hear anything about it, and I've always loved this movie. So it's number 9, and number 8 is Speed. This is a really fun action movie starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and I just absolutely love this movie. The whole not being able to let the bus go under so many miles per hour and stuff keeps you on the edge of your seat, because you're like, how the heck are they going to do this with so many cars in the city, and they're having to race around throughout the whole city and everything throughout the whole movie. It's just a non-stop chase sequence for the most part, but it is so much fun, and it is a really great movie. I always have loved this one. Great action, and it was one of the movies that made me a Keanu Reeves fan and everything. But I didn't see it till quite a ways later into my life. I didn't actually see this one till I was good into my teen years and everything, so I was really late to the party on it, but I absolutely love it, and it became an instant favorite of that year when I saw it. So Speed is number 8, and number 7 is The Mask. I absolutely love this movie. This is such a fun and hilarious movie. It has so many great moments from start to finish. Jim Carrey is just energetic, and it's fun as hell in this movie. And that's all I'm really going to say about it. I'll talk more about it when I review it and stuff, but I really do love The Mask. I think it's a really great one. So it's number 7. And number 6 is The Shawshank Redemption. I really love this movie. I know a lot of people would even go as far to say that this is the best movie of that year, and I can get it. It is a really great movie. I personally don't feel that it's as good as some of the other movies that came out this year. This year just was so stacked full of movies, so I felt like putting it right in the middle is perfect placing for me, because my top 5 are movies that I just absolutely love for this year. But The Shawshank Redemption is a really good movie. It has great performances from Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. It's a really good prison movie and stuff. It's one of Stephen King's the best adaptations of a Stephen King novella for sure, and everything. And the director, Frank Darabont, he did a really great job with this movie. only directed like 4 or 5 movies, but every single one of them have been great movies and everything. And this one was a really good start to his directing career. He'd been involved in movies for years, but this was the first one where he was a director, and he did an amazing job with it. So Shawshank Redemption is number 6, and number 5 is Clerks. Anybody who has worked in retail can say how relatable this movie is. I've never worked at a convenience store and stuff, but I have worked in retail, and Dante is one of the most relatable characters in the history of cinema. I just absolutely love him. And Randall's great too. I think they're both hilarious and work really, really great off of each other. Jeff Anderson and Brian O'Halloran have really great chemistry together. And it was a great introduction to Jay and Silent Bob, and just a really great introduction to Kevin Smith as a filmmaker. It's still one of his best movies and everything. I just absolutely love this movie. And Kevin Smith is one of my favorite directors of all time and everything. I love this movie. So Clerks is number 5, and number 4 is Forrest Gump. This one just celebrated its 30th anniversary, and it's another one that I will be reviewing at some point, because I'm going to start reviewing Tom Hanks' movies soon too, so I'm not going to go too much into detail on this one, but I really love Forrest Gump. It's been one of my favorites ever since I was like 10 years old and everything. I just absolutely love this movie. I think that it has a really good story and everything. It does rely on a lot of nostalgia for a time period that I wasn't even born in and stuff, but I do just love seeing Forrest going through history and stuff. I think it's a lot of fun and everything. It has some good heartfelt moments, and a really amazing performance from Tom Hanks, who deservingly won an Oscar that year. I think him or John Travolta for Pulp Fiction were both worthy of it that year and everything, but I think that I can understand why they went more for Tom Hanks, because his is a more serious, dramatic role and stuff, and he just, they're two totally different type of characters, but I think Forrest Gump deserved it, and I don't think that it deserves the backlash it's been getting all these years later. And I also am one of those that will defend it and say that it did deserve the Best Picture and everything. Even though it's not my favorite movie of the year that year and everything, I don't argue with people who would say that some other movies deserve to win and everything. I could totally understand anybody who said Shawshank or Pulp Fiction deserved it more. I could completely understand it, but I personally do think they gave it to a good one, so I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that it was my ideal choice, but I'm not complaining either, because it's a movie that I've always really loved. So Forrest Gump is number 4, and number 3 is The Lion King. I have been talking about this movie a lot lately, and I've really been rewatching it a lot lately and re-listening to the soundtrack over and over again. It's just one of those perfect movies from the 90s, and I almost put this at number 1. I really, really debated if I was going to, but I decided that I wanted to put it at number 3 and everything. Although I've seen this movie more than probably any of the other movies on this list. I've watched it probably a gazillion times ever since I was a kid. It was one of the few movies that I could actually say that me and my brother both really loved and everything, so it was one of those movies that I could watch because he wanted to watch it all the time and not get tired of it and everything, which was very rare for me, because his taste in movies when I was a kid, I used to hate his taste in movies and stuff, and but this was one of the movies that we could always agree on and stuff, and it is just a classic, from the animation to the voice acting. The songs are some of the best, and it's just a really beautiful, amazing movie. And there's not anything else I can say about this that I haven't said before. I just absolutely love The Lion King. And it's barely number 3. Like, the top 3 are all just thin lines away from each other. They all could almost pass as a 3-way tie for number 1. But I can't do that, so I'm going to have to put them down a little bit, or put them in an order and stuff. So Lion King is number 3. And number 2 is Dumb and Dumber. This is my absolute favorite Jim Carrey movie of 1994, and possibly even my favorite movie of his. I just absolutely love this movie. Him and Jeff Daniels are absolutely hilarious together. One of the funniest on-screen duos of all time, and Now, I'm not going to say too much else about this movie because, like I said, I'm working on Jim Carrey's movies, so I will be reviewing it at some point. It might be a while, but I will be, so I don't want to go too much into my thoughts on it, but I love Dumb and Dumber, and there's been a time where this one and my number one flipped and flopped and stuff because I love them so much, but I feel like this one is number 2. So Dumb and Dumber is number 2, and my number one favorite movie of 1994 is Pulp Fiction. I said I debated on Dumb and Dumber, and everything, and every time I watch both of them, it does make me debate really hard, but I always tend to go back to Pulp Fiction. This movie is just, it is a masterpiece. It's got so many great moments from start to finish. It is entertaining from start to finish. It's over 2.5 hours, and it never feels, you never feel the pacing and everything. The story is just so intriguing. You're entertained and intrigued the entire time, wondering what's going to happen. The dialogue is amazing, and this is just one of those movies that you can't help but love. And Quentin Tarantino did such an amazing job on it. It has such a great cast with John Travolta, who is one of my favorite actors of all time, Samuel Jackson, who is also one of my favorite actors of all time, and then also you got Bruce Willis and Uma Thurman and Ving Rhames. They're all great in here too, and Christopher Walken has a small appearance in here. He's great, and there's just so many really great casting in this movie, and it's just a really, really great movie. So Pulp Fiction easily comes in at number 1. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite movie of 1994 is, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.